Hi guys and welcome back to Wilde. Today we are here with a London band called Temples en Masse. Hi guys, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
The first question I have to start is, how did the name come about?
I think it was after a really, really long shower. We I'm not joking. We'd been toying around with lots of names. I don't know, what do you reckon, Gerald? Probably about 3 to 6 months.
We had a list about, I don't know, from about here to Scotland of names. And then that one came up, and I think everyone just agreed on that one. And yeah, I think it was the one that I think it definitely helped when you Googled it. No one else had it, so that was a big bonus for it.
It's definitely unique, and it kind of makes you more interested about what kind of music you create, because the name doesn't necessarily suggest anything. So if you have somebody here who has never heard of you before, how would you describe your music? And I know that's a hard one and people don't like answering this question very much, but how would you describe Temples en Masse music?
I don't know. I mean, even the stuff we're writing now is changed slightly, or even quite a bit from the last album. So I guess in that respect, you could maybe say we are progressive, just in the fact that we're just changing. But don't know, really. It's like some people did say we were kind of on a progressive side of rock music. We're nowhere near a Dream Theater or anything crazy like that. I can't count to 2, so there's no way I'm playing any of that. So, but yeah, we do toy around with soundscapes and stuff and different sort of musical elements. So I guess maybe loosely progressive rock with a side entree of knows what.
Well, are you
yeah, I mean,
add to that, James?
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, like we're definitely on the progressive side. But I think like because we come from all kind of different musical backgrounds, like there's definitely some sort of, some heaviness, like Gerald says, some nice soundscapes. A lot of the songs kind of end up in sort of in the area of like kind of rock song structure, probably like 70%, and then we got poppy hooks, and our bass player, he's very into sort of electronic production as well, so we definitely got that kind of component going on as well. So it's a bit of a mix, but I mean, people have said that we're kind of like a mix between sort of a Perfect Circle, Carnival, Muse, Bring Me the Horizon, all like with a bit of Sprinkling of Night verses on the top, maybe. So, but people can make up their own mind. I don't want to give anyone any preconceptions, but this is kind of we don't. It's very organic for us. Yeah, and we don't try and like say, oh, we need to write a song that sounds like this. It just kind of happens.
Of course, it's your own thing, and that's what makes you you. And you mentioned that all of the band members kind of have different preferences and from different backgrounds. How did the band form?
It's quite a long.
You know each other for a long time. How long have you got? Is this Zoom meeting going to end?
Why did you decide to get together and create a band? What was the kind of crucial moment?
There wasn't like a moment, really. I guess I was in another band, and we had played shows with a band that Jimmy was in. Short story is basically that band split up. The drummer from that band joined Jimmy's band. Then I moved across to that band because they had also lost some members. So these kind of 2 bands became one band. And then
the bass player left.
Then the bass player left, and then we had loads of people coming and going. And I guess myself and Jimmy have just always ended up still being in that band. And then we just sort of kind of dissolved that band and formed Temples en Masse. Because, there's just so many things that changed with that last band. It was just made sense just to just start a new thing.
All fell into place, and
Yeah.
and kind of created itself naturally.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you're London based, so I must ask, what is your favorite music venue in London?
Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
I used to love the Astoria. That was my favorite, but obviously that's gone. I think at the
Borderline,
moment,
I enjoy playing there.
yeah.
That's gone as well.
Yeah, that's gone. Black Heart has always been real grimy and stuff, real DIY kind of place, punky place, but that was kind of cool.
I like it there. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And what would you say what has been your favorite show that you've played up to date?
Ooh, I don't know.
Probably Progpower Europe was I think one of my favorites.
Yeah,
that was pretty.
that was
Or
cool.
Euroblast, in Germany. Mind you, we did a South African tour a few years ago, and one of those shows was really cool. The Cape Town Mercury Live, that was really cool.
That must have been incredible. And obviously the rock scene in South Africa, it's huge, and it's an amazing place to tour for a lot of kind of rock bands. So yeah, that must have been incredible to be able to travel there and play.
Yeah.
Oh, we loved it. Yeah, we had a good time. Gerald's actually from South Africa. He's been trying to hide his accent.
No way. So how long have you lived here?
20 years.
Hence
this
the
year.
hiding of the accent.
I guess so. I have no idea. I've got British parents, I guess. So even in South Africa, I never had a strong accent, but just the eternal immigrant, really. You know.
Well, it must be exciting to be able to play there, regardless.
Yeah, it was cool to go back home and play some shows there and see some old friends and let some of the other guys see the country as well, which is cool.
Yeah, you can introduce them to your ends.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's awesome, and hopefully once things are up and running, you can kind of potentially look back at doing something like that, and I'm sure that you'd be able to do it again and have an amazing time, or even better, and especially that everyone is going to be so thirsty for live gigs. It's going to be the exact time to take advantage of that.
Yeah, totally.
I have a bit of a random question, but I always find this an interesting one. But what is the one musician that you are listening to right now? It doesn't have to be current. It just has to be one that you are listening to right now.
The last record I listened to was the new Architects.
I've been listening to John Prine. He's a country artist.
Awesome. Awesome.
He's such a great songwriter. He's such a good songwriter. He passed away last year, unfortunately. But yeah.
The reason why this is always such an interesting question is because it's not about what is popular at the moment, but it's a really great way of your fans getting to know you better and understanding kind of where you are in life, because who you're listening to really reflects on the kind of where you are in life or how you're feeling. So yeah, that's always really interesting. And we don't want to talk about what's popular. We want to get to know you as people. So what would you say it's like the one thing that you can't do right now that you just cannot wait to be able to do once the pandemic is over?
Travel. Just travel. I think. Yeah. Especially I need to get somewhere warm because I've been cold for so long.
I feel you.
Yeah, man.
Need to feel that sun on your face.
Oh yeah, totally.
And what about you, James?
I mean, I just want to. I mean, I miss obviously rehearsing. I miss playing like live shows. It's just going to be so weird because obviously like everyone's. I live in an apartment building, and so everyone's at home. So even when like I'm recording new music and stuff, I'm doing everything like either with the speakers really quiet or headphones on because people might be at home next door working or asleep, and it's just kind of it's going to be weird playing in a rehearsal studio with, you know, proper amps like up to 11 kind of thing. It's going to be
and we know that
I'm going to love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I could not agree more with you. And obviously, you are due to play Download. Fingers crossed that Download goes ahead. Do you have any other shows that you have kind of scheduled, hoping that may still go ahead this year?
All the ones that we had scheduled that got cancelled because of the first pandemic, then got moved to like sort of September, October last year, all got cancelled again. So at the moment, we've been offered to rebook some shows, but we've just kind of, you know, we're not getting our hopes up.
It's too
all the ones that have been rebooked. Yeah, I mean, we would love to book a tour or something, but I've noticed even the bigger tours are getting pushed out to 2022 now. So 2021 is looking like a bit of a write-off, which is why we're concentrating on, you know, getting our new record out. And obviously we've got too many songs for one record, so we're starting to work on kind of another one too. So
yeah,
that's all we really can do at the moment.
And tell us how, you know, what have you been doing during the pandemic, band-wise? You know, what sort of stuff have you been working on? How have you been keeping yourself busy?
I think one of the
so the part one. Sorry, go. You go ahead, Joe.
No, you go, man.
You know, all I was gonna say is like, as the first which pandemic? The first one we finished the EP, which we released when we were kind of free, and then it was lockdown 2, and we started working on, you know, we even went to the studio, started working on some vocals and stuff for the record, and then you know, we're back where we are, and yeah, we've been bouncing new ideas and recording guitars and stuff for our album, and our bass player's been mixing some tracks, you know, some rough mixes just to see where we are. But yeah, we got probably, I don't know, what do you reckon, 20 odd tracks?
Yeah, easily.
And yeah.
So would you say that's what you kind of focus?
It just keeps coming because we got nothing else to do. Yeah. I mean, that's all we can do, really.
So what
some guys are doing live streams.
What are you hoping to release kind of you know, this year? What are you wanting to put out there, or, you know, if everything goes well?
Yeah, I think the original idea was just to have an album out before we play Download, and obviously promote that, you know. We might be on track for that, I don't know, hopefully. And even if Download doesn't go ahead, you know, we'd still like to get the album out sort of the early part of this year. And then, yeah, like I said, we've got enough material for an album after that, so we can just carry on working with that.
It sounds like you guys are ready to just go out and start playing the new music you've been creating, all this exciting stuff, you know, being kind of locked away, and you're ready to be released back out and have some fun and
well, this is life in captivity right now. It's, you know, I haven't even seen this guy in person for months. You know, like we're on WhatsApp, we're emailing, and you know, it's just, it's kind of sad because, you know, you spend so much time with all these guys. You know, me and Gerald have been playing music together for sort of, you know, 8-9 years now. I've known him for longer than that, and it's like all of a sudden you can't see the guys that you know, spend. You know, it's quite an intimate process, like creating music together. It's not like, hey bro, how you doing? Okay, sweet. It's like, you know, you talk, have in-depth conversations. You know, some songs, like the lyrical themes are quite deep. You know, even the name, like Temples on Mars, is kind of, you know, quite relevant at the moment. You got people like, you know, I think there's 3 different countries now all trying to send spacecraft to Mars. You know, we talk about all that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden, like, the guys you do all this stuff with, you can't even see in person, and, like, you know, give a cheesy high five or something. It's really weird. It's so strange.
It's been very challenging for sure, and like you said, you know, we've kind of had to make the most out of the technologies that we have to try to keep going and keep creating. How have you guys found, you know, how have you been able to still kind of carry on during this time? Is it mainly kind of trying to do live streams and kind of keep up on social media to show people that, you know, you are working on cool stuff and it will happen once you're allowed?
Yeah, I think what we really concentrated on more, because before the pandemic, you know, the idea was the old school way of, you know, it was write some songs and then go into an actual recording studio and lay down your songs. We couldn't do that, and we didn't want to just fall behind. So we've worked really hard at being able to record our relative instruments at our own houses. So we've had to upgrade a lot of gear, learn a lot about sort of actually tracking guitars and bass and stuff like that in your own home, you know, to such a good enough quality that, you know, it can be put on an album, and we don't need to go to a recording studio to do that. So we spent a lot of time trying to sort of get that right. Luckily, our bassist is a sound engineer, so, you know, he's worked us through the process of this. But I think that's one of our biggest things. I think we might have we've tested out a few ideas of shooting music video from our own homes, each of us individually shooting something, and then we can all do a bit of editing ourselves. So we've been sort of around with a bit of that. But yeah, I think mainly it's just focusing on writing, getting better at your instrument, and just getting better at actually recording it at home properly. So, yeah.
It's amazing how, you know, we've been put in this situation and you've kind of had to become really innovative with what you can do. And it as much as it's challenging, I feel like there's some really wonderful things that can come of it, because you have to create a completely different environment that you're used to or that you like. And sometimes when you're put out of your comfort zone, it could be the time to actually create your best stuff yet. So yeah. I'm very excited for your new music to be released and to see you live and to enjoy the shows with you, and hopefully festivals as well. But yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been really lovely to have you here. All of Temples on Mars links will be linked down below, so please do check them out. If you're not familiar with them yet, I'm sure that you are, but if you're not, do check them out. And yeah, hopefully next time we see you, we'll be live at a festival.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
Or in Brighton.
Oh, hopefully. Amazing. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, Ella.
Cheers.